The man who fatally shot a Chicago police officer, a doctor, and a pharmacy resident at Mercy Hospital had made violent threats in the past. You're looking at 32-year-old Juan Lopez. He threatened to shoot up the Chicago Fire Department Academy nearly 5 years ago after he was fired for improper conduct towards women there.
And joining us on the phone this morning is Professor Nancy Zarse. She is a forensic psychologist with the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. Thank you so much for joining us on the phone this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, good morning. We hear about these, this was a domestic situation, and we always hear from police about how these cases are always so volatile. Can you explain to our viewers why these situations can be so deadly in situations like this?
Well, a couple of reasons. One, if someone has made threats in the past, he or she is more likely to repeat that behavior. So keep in mind the single greatest indicator of future behavior is past. And we also tend to do what's effective. So if the threat worked, then that person is more likely to repeat. With regards to the domestic violence, what we see is that if you think about it, where someone is most accessible and somewhat vulnerable is actually at work. So the domestic violence from home follows the victim into the workplace. And that actually accounts for a significant amount of our workplace violence.
So we're learning more as the days progress about Juan Lopez and his relationship with Dr. Tamara O'Neill. We don't know exactly what led to the split. That said, when someone is on the receiving end of abuse, domestic violence, what's your best advice? We talk about shame, embarrassment. She was a physician at Mercy, perhaps, and we don't know this for certain. She was reluctant to talk to coworkers about it, but clearly this became a situation where other people lost their lives. If you are on the receiving end, what is your best advice to those people?
Well, the biggest thing we say is safety. So maintain your safety and be aware of that. Now, if you can, we actually recommend that you do talk to the people at your workplace, that you let at least your security and your supervisor know, because then those people can be part of a security plan that keeps the victim safe and keeps the abuser from getting into the workplace. So as much as you're right, there is that shame, and we would like to fight against that. The problem is not the victim. The problem is the abuser.
Right.
So if we create a safe space in the workplace, we can act as a team to keep people safe.
What do you want people who might be in a volatile relationship to understand about what's not normal when it comes to somebody who has the potential to be so violent?
When there is this use of intimidation, of threats, or of actual harm to maintain power and control. So that's what domestic violence is about, power and control. And these folks are using either the threat of violence or intimidation or outright harm to exert that power and control.
Forensic psychologist Nancy Zarse.